Y'all, it is hot. It is hot today. And because it is hot, this is not going to be a very long live because Tan don't like hot and Mama don't like hot, apparently. And I've been trying to get this going for a couple minutes, but she keeps shutting down. She says, "Girl, it's hot out here. What are you doing?" I'm still trying to make it happen. Hey, everybody, welcome to my live. So, I saved these bags from my I save these bags I get when I go pick up coffee grounds from the Starbucks, and I save them because I reuse them in my garden uh, for particular things. Now, I started this live because I want to tell y'all, show y'all what I've been getting up to here in the garden today. I've been doing a little bit of work here and there today. Like I said, it's hot. Tan don't like hot. My camera don't like hot. So the breaks have been necessary, but kind of forced too. By the man of my technical devices. I'm living the janky life. I too. I'm apologizing in advance for the sniffling. Apparently, I don't know that it's a know that it's a bad air day. Look, I got these. I watched a video, and apparently the Amish use the toilet paper rolls to um, I don't remember, do something in the garden. But here's what I'm doing. I'm using the toilet paper rolls to hold my spot so I can see, like, I'm trying to grow some stuff I've been trying to grow for years. And I don't know if my seeds have just not been viable or if it has grown and just gave up on me at some point. Um, I dropped down some soursop seeds, and I've dropped down some pawpaw seeds. Uh, and here, I'm just gonna put my little toilet paper rolls right where I dropped them things. Hey y'all, welcome to my live. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss a moment of what I'm getting up to. And look here, I keep telling y'all I'm having that epic sunflower battle. There's another sunflower trying to get big on me. I pull them when I see them, and I pull them because they're in spots that I don't want them to grow like trees. These sunflowers grow like trees. Where did I put my gloves? Where did I put my gloves? Oh, and okay, so I've started, today is 93 degrees, y'all. It is 93 degrees here in North Texas, and this is as hot as it's supposed to get. It feels hotter than that to me. So I'm summer watering. And a lot of y'all, I met a lady. I meet so many nice people when I'm out and about that are gardeners. And we get to talking about what we growing and all that good stuff. And I was telling, I do believe her name was Debbie. Look, I started my day with a hot cup of coffee. Not that good, delicious Daddy Gray coffee, because I'm back on the sugar in my diet lately. And it's so hot right now, I got me a cup of citrus water. I squeezed off some limes in my cup, and I filled it with ice cold water. Let me try to, I feel bad. And yesterday I was out and about. Look, this is a sunflower right here. It looks like Miss Seymour. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that out. Probably have another space for this in my garden, but I just don't want to add my nutrients from my eggplant and the other stuff that I'm trying to get growing right here. So what I'm gonna do, there's another big one trying to get loose. I get it later. But since I got this one, I'm gonna sit it out to the side. But I was telling you I'm starting my summer watering. And I don't know if y'all noticed. Where's my other? There it is. This place stuff. So I don't know if y'all notice that every once in a while there are certain words that get used a lot. A couple, maybe not a couple years ago, but maybe last year the word was passive income. So I was hearing passive income a lot. I got carrots right here. I've been keeping this dry, but I don't see no sprouts in this space yet. But the word was passive income. Hey, the word was passive income. Right now, I think it's parasocial relationship. But anyway, passive. Passive was the word. So everybody was doing passive income. Tan decided she'd do passive watering. And I'm always juggling priorities. And sometimes I'm away from my garden for a while. And so I had to figure out a way to keep plants alive. And what I did was, Tan went to see the wizard. Tan went to see the wizard and she came up with passive water. And I'm gonna show y'all my passive watering system. And it's something that you guys already know, probably already have, and catches. But tandgreat be on a budget, and she likes to save money. And what I have done too this morning, I got started. I've done some composting. If you look at me, you see I've dumped out some of that Starbucks coffee, and I've cleaned out my refrigerator a little bit. Clean out my refrigerator a little bit, y'all. And I got all that stuff, and I put it here. And I want to kind of cover this up. I'm going to come back and water it in later, but I want to cover this up because my tenant, and if that video, it's back. I got something in my yard that likes to come through, dig and eat up my stuff. I don't invite it, but it be at the buffet. It comes to my yard and sit at the buffet. Allergies, I'm sniffling because I have allergies. I don't know how long I'll be out here because my camera is janky and it don't like the heat. I'm on the way to my passive watering system, but look, my greens are trying to go to seed. I want them to go to seed. So I'm cutting off those buds. And I haven't gotten there yet, but some YouTubers are saying this thing is edible. Tan, we'll try it. I will try it eventually. Just hadn't got there yet. That's what's happening in that spot now. To the next spot, which is, and what I did do this morning, I mentioned I cleaned out my refrigerator. Well, kind of cleaned it out. I took out some seeds. I put avocado seeds. If you saw the other day, I had to pull up my kale in this bucket right here. I put avocado seeds here. I put avocado seeds here. And I put avocado seeds in pots. Put one in here. I put avocado seeds in pots that I have to water anyway. So if the seed is gonna sprout, it's getting water. I'm not doing anything particular. I put one in there. I drop one here. And I put it there because it's gonna get watered anyway. So if it's gonna grow, it's gonna grow. I think my apples are dead. I tried to grow pineapples from the head of those cheap pineapples that I got. I don't feel like I had success with that. And they look dead. Brown looks dead to me. Well, let me tell you, get on to my water. Look. Won't be outside without your water. Set my cup down. So, I was saying about I meet really nice people. And what we end up doing is talking about gardening or something with the boots. The boots conversation. And once I tell them I'm not in construction, I'm a gardener, they laugh for a minute. And then we start talking about what I'm growing. So I met a lady, and she was telling me how she was about to go on a trip, and she was concerned about her garden dying while she was gone. And I shared with her that I have a way that I've been able to manage my garden and be gone sometimes up to, see me clipping off the buds over here, be gone sometime up to 2 weeks at a time and come back with just enough time when my plants are fighting for their life. They be fighting for their life. I get time to drop some water on them. In addition to avocado seeds this morning, I planted some psyllium. I think that's what it's called. I've seen some people say these flowers are good for pollinators. I also planted some lavender. I've never planted lavender before, but I have it in 2 spots in my yard. This is my in-ground compost system. I'm also trying to grow that onion butt right here. If you can start sprouting some. But yeah, I get back in just enough time to give my plants some water before they kick the bucket. And that's what I'm gonna show y'all today. Look, I need to go get more of those toilet. There's some more of those seeds. I think those are pawpaw or soursop. I put down some more radish this morning. And I have more cucumber. I was watching, actually I went to the Facebook group I'm in. I believe it's North Texas Gardener or Grow Zone. There's another sunflower trying to be in the walkway. I don't want to be walking in the trees because sunflowers have stuff on it. Where did I come back over here to tell y'all? Oh, my cucumbers, right? So I put down my cucumbers because, I was convinced that it was summer. There's another sunflower I don't want. I was convinced that it was summertime, so I put down cucumbers. Look at them. They are kind of scorched. They don't look so good. Everybody says that's because the frost got them. They said pull them up and plant some more. I planted some more, but I'm going to let them live. There's another sunflower trying to turn into a tree. I'm going to let them live. But let's get on to my watering system. I'm trying to take over. Oh, here's another thing I noticed today that's got me crazy. And I don't know how I missed this. Yeah, I don't know how I missed this. I came out here this morning and I was looking at my plant. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know how this happened. Looks like my tenant had been in there munching some more, right? I didn't see that one the other day when I came out here to pull my strawberries, but that looked like it would have been a good strawberry. It's nice and sizable. But what I'm gonna do is since that tenant wanted to get it, I'm just gonna go ahead and get it under some more dirt. And get under some more dirt, and maybe it will sprout me some more. Maybe it will sprout me some more strawberries. And get some dirt from here. Let me get some dirt. And this is where I got my sweet potatoes trying to start, y'all. I'm gonna keep that watered. Go and cover that up. Yeah, I don't know what that thing is that's at the buffet garden, but it keeps coming back, trying to do the most to me, and I keep fighting it. So yeah, I got some starts in here. Sweet potatoes that I grew last year in my garden from the epic sweet potato harvest. I get to my watering. So if you'll see some things I'm growing in flower pots. I mentioned before that Daddy Gray made these flower pots for me when I first started gardening. Before I committed to put plants in the ground, and this is where I grew all my food. I have some videos. If you'll check back to one of my first videos, what was Texas is Brutal, I was only growing in these flower pots. That's how I came up with my watering system. Like I said, for 2 weeks at a time, I could be away from my garden during the most brutal dog days. There's another flower pot I was growing. Dog days, y'all. In Texas, the dog days, I could use my passive watering system. And come back to my plants just alive enough for me to, there's another sunflower that I want in that spot. Just enough for me to come back and give it some water and keep it alive. So, look, this is my water bucket. You can use whatever you have to fill your water, and the wasps are out. Y'all seeing the wasps? They out. The wasps are out. I don't know if they like the water. I feel like they are growing. I put nests in my bamboo sticks that I use to support my plants. But, so look, this is my team. These are my teammates. I have a lot of non-traditional things going on here in the garden, my garden, but also am following a lot of traditional things. Now, you can buy oil pots. You know what those are? You can buy oil pots. Oil pots. This is an oil pot. It's a terracotta vessel, and you see it has that cork in it. You fill that with water, and it waters the root of your plant. The water slowly released through the terracotta, and it keeps your plants alive. I keep this in a strawberry bin because it works. It works. It works. In addition to what I'm about to show you, it works well. There's another sunflower. It ain't supposed to be with my blackberries. Gonna get that out of there. But look. So I have these pots for all these things that I'm growing in. And when I'm away, I want them to be watered. So what I do is I save my tea bags. Tan loves tea. I drink a lot of tea in the wintertime, or I drink a lot of tea. So I save my tea bags. And one of my tea, oh no, the bugs, the ants, oh my gosh. I save my tea bags. And look at the ants, oh my God, they act as filtration devices for my watering them. Make sure I don't drop my glove. They act as filtration devices for my watering system. Like I said, I showed you the oil pot, right? It's a terracotta bottle. Now, I've seen, maybe on Amazon, you could buy spikes. They're terracotta spikes. And they do the same thing that the oil pot does. But they use the very same bottles, glass bottles, that I'm using. So, I've saved these bottles from parties, events that I've gone to, and I be drinking sometimes. I got some bottles. I prefer the big ones because they hold more water and it gives me more time. And what I do is I saturate my pot. And listen to me carefully so we don't have a misunderstanding. Because I shared this with, hey y'all, welcome to my live. I shared this with the sister gardener and she didn't do it right the first time. And she blamed me. But it wasn't my fault. She just didn't do what I suggested. What you want to do is take your bottle, whatever it is, take your bottle, fill it with water. Now, I have a full bottle. Once my bottle is full, now all tea bags are not created equal. I found some of them are bigger and some of them are smaller. I don't have a problem going to the dollar question mark tree and buying a box of 100 tea bags and using 2 of them to fill a spout. Now the tea bag sizes you're gonna need depends on the spout. But look, I have, let me see. Those are good tea bags right there. Those are my good tea bags. So look, you see this tea bag? I take it and I stick it in that spout. Now it's gonna start, well, looks like I need 2 of them for that. And you wanna make sure, you gotta make sure, if you don't make sure that that tea bag is holding that spout, it's worthless. This is gonna be worthless because your water is gonna run straight out. You've wasted your time. Now, after I get my water bottle filled, where I go is to the pot that I want this in. Let's go to this one right here. You see I got my eggplant right here. I got something right there. I know I got something in the center, so what I feel like I want to do, look, this is my spot. I'm gonna go ahead and get this, and you gotta hold, look, see I got my hand on this tea bag? Sometimes you gotta hold that tea bag. It's moist and it's gonna stay in that spot, but sometimes you gotta hold it. Get that tea bag. I make contact with the soil. Before I let that go, I make contact with the soil. Then look, you see what it is? I push that down in there. Now before I put this in my flower pot, I saturate the soil. That is gonna be an important step. If you don't saturate, it's gonna run all the way out immediately. Look, can you see the bubbles there? Look, can you see how it's bubbling? It's going out a little. That's because I'm gonna have to come back over here and saturate the soil. Now, in addition to regular rainwater, sometimes I get some rain. Yeah, sometimes Tan gets some rain in the summertime. Summertime in Texas, sometimes I get some rain, and that helps me out. If I'm getting rain, my soil is staying moist longer. And if my soil is staying moist, that means there's less water coming out of my water bottle. That's something that helps prolong the amount of water that stays in the bottle. Now, I have all size bottles. You've seen that, right? So if you're using a small bottle, if you're using those small beer bottles, you're probably gonna have to use 1 or 2 if you plan on having this going for any duration, right? And by the time I'm done today, all those water bottles that you have seen will be filled, and I'll have in all my flower pots. Now, in addition to putting them in the flower pot, I have some big ones that I stick in the ground besides some of the stuff that I'm growing. There's too much area to control how long that lasts. So it's just there to give me a lifeline, a slight lifeline. Here's what I want y'all to know. Look, Orange Julia Child got blossoms. I'm excited. She survived the winter, and I feel like this is my second year. This is the second year of this. If it gives me, how did that get there? If it gives me fruit this year, I'm gonna be so excited. I'm gonna be so excited. Oh, I'm gonna be so excited. It might take away my lemon envy. I told y'all before, I got a little bit of lemon envy. I got some grape envy. I got carrot envy. Oh, blueberry. I got blueberry envy. But I'm effort so I can grow. I want to be able to grow those things myself. So, I mean, as a matter of fact, those people that I'm watching, those items that are growing those things that I want to get growing in my yard, they do a lot of work. They've cracked the code on a lot of things, and I haven't quite gotten there yet, but I'm working on it. Tan is working on being the greatest. Well, greater. Not the greatest. Greater than I am. But So that's my passive watering system. And I mentioned to y'all a little while ago, I'm starting flower beds, right? Some of my started sprouting where I threw out a whole bunch of a variety of seeds. Look, is my tenant, what is that, a cat? Something been over here. This is the first time I've seen footprints. Oh, wow. I wonder what that would be. Well, it's definitely not a dog because, is that a cat? Disgusting. Is that a cat? It's definitely not a dog because my fence is always closed. I don't have any openings for a dog to enter. So, yeah. And I'm gonna put these blueberries. Did I tell y'all about my blueberries that I got from the Lowe's on clearance? Because they look bad? I don't know. I watched a YouTuber say, hey, if you see them and they look bad, buy them. Buy them because the rootstock is still alive, and if you keep it watered, it might come back. And these are like regular price $20 or $30. I paid $12, so I got two for one. And look, I've always wanted a olive tree, and this one I bought on clearance because it was last season. It already got little buds on it. I just gotta keep this thing alive, y'all. I gotta keep it alive and see if it will grow for me. Yeah. So let me just see. I'm gonna go do one more. I ain't gonna keep y'all too long, like I said, because it is hot. It is 93 degrees here in North Texas. It feels a little bit hotter. I got a janky ass phone. I got a janky ass body, and neither one of us like heat. So it's a matter of time before my phone crashes or before I crash. I've been taking heat breaks today. So I don't overheat. Look, looks like these are really big bags too. See, I got my bag kind of saturated. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the spout of my bottle. This is how I water during the summer. This is not the only way I water, but this keeps me from having to worry about my plants just straight dying on me. I feel a little bit more comfortable when this is happening. Now I take this bottle. I take the bottle and make sure I have my tea bag really good in the spout. You have to make sure that tea bag is really in there, hold the water in, otherwise it's gonna run straight out. Gonna get that right in there, and I push it right in. Now the water will release slowly. There's another big old sunflower. Y'all, the epic sunflower battle is on. I don't want them in there. Gotta get them out. They're so beautiful, y'all. I love sunflowers. And I know if I mentioned to y'all I love sunflowers because I don't know what artist that was that did the precious work, Monet Van Gogh. I don't know if the one that cut his ear off, I don't know. Anyway, there's a precious work with sunflowers, and I think it's beautiful. But when they turn into trees, I don't know, I think the love affair is good over for me. I don't like walking into big old sunflower trees. Although they are beautiful. And I'm letting these live in my flowers because last year I planted burnt orange sunflowers. And I grew them for the first time and they came out so beautiful. Yeah, I made flower arrangements for my friends. Oh, I got this because this is bothering me. It's big. Yes, I'm gonna get my glove back on. Y'all, I found out yesterday. Look, gotta get my glove on. Found out yesterday that my glove is reversible. I done missed the glove. I done damaged the glove, but look, I'm trying to do. I ain't supposed to be there. So I got this out, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this in my bucket is it's covered right now, but I use my weeds in my watering. I used to have my, look, more sunflowers. You come on out of there. I use my weeds in my watering. I collect water, rainwater. I collect rainwater from my gutters. And when I do that, I let the weeds break down in my, let the weeds break down in that water. And my mind says that does the same thing as, people say put the banana peels in the water. Let me get that out of the way. That right there. Look, the wind been destroying my spin wheels. I just pick up the pedals, and I feel like I'm gonna have to glue them back on so they stay permanently. That's all good. All good, all good. Yeah. So today I've come out, and it's taken me a lot longer than I showed y'all, but I put down some more seeds. And I want lettuce, y'all. Look, I started lettuce today because I want salads other than with chard. Put down lettuce. I planted those avocado seeds. Oh, and let's check my asparagus while I got y'all here. I get so annoyed with the pencil thin asparagus, but I let them stay. I let them stay, and I hope that they will go to seed, and drop more and grow more for me out here in the garden. This thing is about to go to seed. I had some carrots here, I had some white radishes here, and I had some parsnip here. Now I dug these things up, and they were woodsy. They were really hard and fibers. It's like not what I want. So, epic sunflower battle. I put them back in the ground so they would go to seeds. Y'all, I love those white radishes. And I grew them for the first time last year, and I had a lot of great success, and I was really happy with that. Y'all, my pink lemonade blueberry is ready for a close-up. She said, hey, y'all, I'm finally putting on blossoms. She not calling me the blueberry bush of shame no more. Sure is. For 2 or 3 years I've had this thing, and last year I decided to get the blueberry bush of shame, and I added what I call a blueberry girls. That one right there, they're small, but I added them, and this year, for the first time, she's putting on blossoms. Now, I watched the blueberry whisper over there. He's out the box or something like that. But anyway, I watched the blueberry whisper, and what I find out and what my mind had resolved already was that I need additional blueberries to make that one grow, or maybe a different kind of blueberry. And I don't know. I'm not there yet. I don't know all the differences between the blueberries, but apparently I got the right one. When I went and bought more, this is my epic sunflower battle. Apparently I got the right one when I brought in those blueberry girls, because this thing is starting to sprout. And I'm really happy about that. I want to taste pink lemonade blueberries. So bad. So bad. I bet they're so good. I know one day, hopefully this season I'll find out. Hopefully I'll find out. Look at my beet still trying to go. I pulled up a beet the other day. I pulled up one of my beets the other day. They are looking big right here. Look, they are looking big right here, but when I pull them up, there's nothing attached to them sunflowers doing it. There's nothing attached to the leaves. Now I pulled one up. I pulled that one up and I stuck it back in the ground. I stuck it back in the ground, and I hope that it will grow like these things right here that I pulled up. I pulled this up. And when I pulled it up, if you see this right now, when I pulled this, the one up, everything that was green on it died. But this is what has come back. This one too. I pulled it up, and everything that was there before, when I pulled it up, died off. But this is what has grown back. Here's another patch that's trying to get overwhelmed with sunflowers. And I'm trying to clean this up. I'm trying to clean this up right now because I don't want to look one day and there's a bunch of sunflowers crowding out. I don't want a bunch of big sunflowers crowding out what I'm trying to grow here. And sunflowers grow. Sunflowers grow. Here's another one. This is a carrot. I know this is a carrot for sure because I pulled it up. It was green and it looked gnarly. It just looked so gnarly. I put it back in the ground, and this is what has grown back. A lot of green foliage. So I made the sunflower work for myself. So I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I have to keep it under control. If I don't keep it under control, I'll have sunflowers where I don't want them. This is one of the other blueberry girls. They are not looking so great this year, but last year when I first got them, I was showing y'all hands full of blueberries that I was coming out picking, not every day, but regularly. I was coming out and I was picking blueberries regularly, and I was showing y'all what these little things was putting off, and I was so excited. Asparagus. So there's another asparagus. I don't pick them when they come out tiny like that, and I scan my patch and see if I got more asparagus. And if you notice, what is this? There's more cucumbers. I'm gonna let them stay too. If you'll notice, my asparagus are planted with strawberries. I've heard that strawberries are good co-plants, so that's what I've done here. Yeah, you come on up. There's another epic sunflower battle. Yeah, and that's what I got today, y'all. That is what I got. So I'm gonna keep working on my watering system, and maybe next time when I see y'all, I'm gonna have all my pots and all my grow things full of my water bottles. They are part of my team, and I've collected them because they help me maintain gardening, whether I'm here and just not feeling like coming outside and being a gardener sometimes. Or if I'm out in the street, y'all, sometimes Tans be leaving the house and getting in. They help me maintain my garden. And that's why I'm sharing it with y'all. Now, I think I told y'all, I shared with y'all everything that I came to talk about. I gotta watch out, yard hazard, garden hazard. Yeah, so I wanted to share with y'all today. My yard is looking good. I did some, I took care of the grass yesterday, and I got that, y'all, it's hot. Do y'all eat dandelion greens? I know it's a weed that is growing in my garden, but I've heard dandelion greens are edible. I haven't done it yet. But I'm curious because there's so plenty full in my garden. Anyway, so I've got showed you my watering system, my summer watering system. I'll show you my new stuff that I got growing. And y'all, I meant y'all how I deadhead those zinnia. I'll do that in my next video. I have some zinnia that I've saved from the previous season. They were those peppermint or candy cane zinnia. They were white with pink stripes. I saved them and they're dried out. And I'm just gonna show you. Now I learned deadheading from another YouTuber. Lady Cheryl was saying that all you gotta do is things up and drop them on the ground. I was digging up the whole stock at the end of the season and, you know, making my weed collection to put in the garbage. After I saw that, I just started picking them and dropping them, picking them and dropping them. And they are the flower that keeps on giving. I made flower arrangement with my zinnias. Yeah, it's hot. I'm sipping on my water, my lemon water. Look, I made flower with my zinnia. I'm gonna attach that to maybe highlight one of my flower arrangement videos. Everything straight from my garden. Unfortunately, my gardenias are dead. Well, they're not dead, but the frost that came through, the big frost, not the fake summer frost. The big frost came through and it knocked them down. So by the time we come back, it'll be time for the frost to hit them again. But I feel like I'm gonna do better and cover them up this year so that don't happen. But look, my daddy great crepe myrtle is starting to come back to life. Yes! And my black diamond crepe myrtles. They produce a rich, garnet, dark red crepe myrtle. These are fuchsia. These are the crepe myrtles that I grew up looking at as a kid. This plant came straight from my yard at home. And I got 2 of those black diamonds that are coming back to life. And that's it. That's it, y'all. I will be making flower arrangements now. In addition to those, y'all, I started a flower patch. I want the pollinators to come onto the yard. These are they're narcissus. What do you call them? They're narcissus daffodils. You probably know them as daffodils. They have already put on some blossoms. I'm hoping back, but if you'll see, I got a lot of little sprouts going on here. And I dropped a whole bunch of seeds. I'm hoping to have a flower patch in this spot that will bring my flowers will bring all the pollinators to the yard. I hope that's the case. Man, I'll be making flower arrangements with all those little flowers. But look, that's gonna do it for me, y'all. I've been yapping for a minute. I showed you what I got accomplished today out here in the garden. It's getting hot. I don't know if my camera is about to hang up on y'all or I'm about to give up on y'all. Either way, this is what Pan was up to today. It's time for me to go and pick up my tools, lick my wounds, and sit it down. Because like I said, it's hot. It's hot, y'all. Today is 93 degrees here in North Texas. And it's not as hot as it's gonna be. Can you imagine if it's hot, this hot right now, and it's just March? I'm expecting Texas heat to be brutal again. July and August hit. Anyway, y'all, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a moment when I'm getting on. And as always, I thank y'all for watching. Bye. Thanks for watching.